It's your boy Nuni, Leo in the third house, and we back with another reading. I don't know what we doing.
Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Nuni, and it's Leo in the third house, back with another reading. This is gonna be another pick a card reading. We're gonna be asking the question: how would people describe you? I figured that'd be pretty interesting because if people don't know you, and other people around who do know you, how would they describe you to the people who don't know you? Like, what would they say? And would it be a good description of who we are? So, I'm gonna do my best here as always. And I just want to kind of see how it plays out. As always, thanks to those people who like, share, subscribe, comment, getting involved. Hey, thanks to those people who book those personal readings. I was down for a little bit, man. We had a family member or a friend of a family member pass away. She was an important person. Didn't even realize that she was that important, but something about her, she was a good spirit. She definitely treated my daughter like her grandbaby, and we're gonna miss her. And so I was just taking a little bit of time out to, just remember her, hold her in memory, hold her in spirit, and just take some time out. That's about it. So I'm back. So as always, thanks for those people who just been there with me supporting, and thanks to those people who reached out for me, because I know I didn't let y'all know, but some people I did let know, and they reached out, and I just want to thank them for just checking and just seeing how I was doing. Appreciate you very much. So without doing too much talking, let's just get started. We got pile 1 with the red carnelian, pile 2 with the moonstone, or Euchrenite. Pile 3 with the red jasper. Pile 4 with the dragon's bloodstone. All right, so take a second, pick your pile or piles. I'm gonna get started over here with pile 1. Boom, pile 1. So, pile 1. How would people describe you? Ooh, a slick, a person who likes to stay hidden. You don't really like to show your moves. Ooh. But a person who works well at joining forces. You work well together with other people. Okay, so check it out. What I'm really getting is this. You probably are a Scorpio or have Scorpio placements. We have Scorpio here. We also have Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio again. We also have Leo energy here again. All right, but people would describe you as someone who's loyal, but someone who's very secretive. You're easy to get along with. You have very high principles. Principles are like, if things aren't going in the way that you would like them to go, you pretty much freeze people out. You might be a person who ghosts people, or a person who, they might describe you as a person who seems like you can't really tell how they're feeling by their emotions, by looking at their face. Like, it may not always show. But you are a person who holds resentment, because we have this. You're a person who holds on to past hurts, past pains. You don't let it go. You hold resentment strongly. That is a thing that you use. But you use it to transform, because we have regeneration here as well. And that is a Scorpio trait, to use anger, resentment, fear, loss as a way of transforming themselves. Now with this fox spirit, you're a person who thinks quick on their feet. You're very witty. You're a person who's very resourceful as well, and you could be a bit sly, sneaky. That's how people would perceive you. That's maybe how they would describe you as well, as being very intellectual, very smart, very sly, knowing how to get the most out of the less. Knowing how to get what you need. And a lot of people may not see you coming. Then you have the darkness here as well, which is still also about being reclusive, and keeping to yourself. And so you know how to work with people, but they see you as a person who's normally by themselves, normally recluse. You got dormant energy here, which is about recharging. So when you're frustrated or when you're angry with people, you take time alone to recharge, to heal, to spend time alone, and to basically get back to your principles. With this peacock spirit in reverse, you're a person who doesn't really like to. So you're attractive, but you're a person who doesn't really always flaunt your beauty. You don't always let it be seen, how beautiful you really are. You don't let yourself be seen a lot around other people maybe. But still, like I said, the main thing that's important here is that you are a person who works well with other people. Now, some people might describe you as someone who lacks individuality, where they think maybe you're like everybody else, give or take. We have promotion here, right? And promotion next to this Wheel of Fortune and a loyal heart, I feel like it's kind of like a give and take feeling. Like if people are loyal to you, you're loyal to them. If they're disloyal to you, then you're disloyal to them. You know, it's that energy here, as well as you being an overthinker. People think of you as very analytical because you got two cards here of like thinking. You got the thinker, and then you have the craftiness of a fox. So you're very slick, very sharp witted. You know, you work well with your instincts because the moon can also represent your emotional instincts. So you naturally have an intuitive knowing of what to do. So people might speak about that, but they talk about your transformations anytime you're frustrated from, like, you transform from resentments, you transform from hurtful situations, things that happened to you in the past. You know, you use your wits and you think on your feet quickly, and you transform that situation into a better position for yourself. People do say that you are trustworthy, you know, that you're a person who can see the bigger picture and the bigger perspective of things, you know, but at the same time, you're a person who knows how to ice out the things that aren't going to serve them or aren't going to give them. It's like you don't give attention to the things that aren't going to add value to your life, or the relationships that aren't going to give you what it is that you need. You pretty much freeze them out. With promotion here, this is also about like mentally preparing yourself for moving up in directions or moving up into situations. You know, this is also using your intellect to move you up. So you're a very intellectual type of person, but you're just very secretive, like a loner, yet you're very loyal to people who you care for, who care for you. You know, you do seem a bit unpredictable with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, very unpredictable, as well as you may struggle to like hold in your frustrations, your anger. You know, you may struggle trying not to blow up on people sometimes, you know, because even though you are a recluse, it's almost as if when people have gotten to you or gotten on your nerves, and you decide to like kind of like blow up, you know, people would people would they would probably describe you as a person who's very romantic, a person who has a lot of options, romantic options. But they would definitely describe you as a person who's indecisive in love. You know, very indecisive about who you want or who you would choose because maybe you have so many options. They also see you as a person who has problems. Because now I'm looking at this strength in reverse as like having trouble securing your passions, like taking control of your passions. So maybe they would say that you have a lot of options and you can't really choose who, and maybe you have problems quelling or keeping your passions down. You know what I mean? Where you just maybe like to try them all. You know, they see you as a very sexual person because of this Scorpio energy here. They think that you're very secretive, you know, because like I said, with this fox energy and this peacock energy in reverse, it's basically of like not liking people to see your moves. You tiptoe a lot. People can't really pinpoint who you are, where you are, what you're doing, you know, but somehow they still see you as being loyal. They just think that you're very analytical, very strategic, very secretive, you know, but you have high principles. Like there are principles to the things that you do, you know, and that you work well with other people. Like, you know how to work, you know, be in a team and be in a group. You do know how to work with other people. You're just a bit unorthodox. You're not quite what people would expect. Now, you're a person who holds a lot of resentment and a lot of anger and frustration. I know it sounds like I'm going over it again, but I'm giving it you the gist of what they would pretty much say. It's like, you know, whenever you get upset or whenever situations don't go the way that you expect them to, you use that energy to transform into another version of yourself. You know, so I think that is what I got. Power one. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house. Boom. Pile two. So, pile two. How would people describe you? Oh. Okay. So you could be a Leo, could be a Capricorn, could be a Cancer. It could be a Libra, could be a Taurus, could be an Aquarius. These are the signs I have. Okay. So right off the bat, people feel like you're selfish with your resources. Like you don't like to build with other people. Maybe you like to do things on your own independently. They do see you as kind of like a whimsical thinker. You know, with this bringing your ideas to life. Like a lot of the ideas you have, they would take a lot of time to create. They take like, or maybe you just sit on your ideas for a while, and you know, people see them as great ideas. They just think that you're not taking all the practical steps towards making them happen. Um, they do see you as a person who gets a lot of attention. You're very disciplined. You're very responsible. You have you maybe worked through a lot of struggles, because I see storms here. You've worked through a lot of struggles. They say that you're pretty much a survivor. You know, they say that you're tough, one tough cookie, you know, but they also say that you always create your way. You create your, create like outlets. Whenever you're having issues or struggles or going through a tough time in life, you yourself create it. So they call you like an alchemist. You know, they call you, yeah, you know, because whenever I see the star too, this is always about inspiration, new hope, new beginnings, you know, and this is also on your own accord of doing it yourself. So they see, and yeah, for sure, because look, you got King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, all right? And so this would make you a very passionate person who gets everything that they want. People see you as a person who gets everything they want. So they would describe you as a person who gets what they want and may be a bit selfish with their resources, the Empress in reverse. You know, you may focus on your own coin. You may focus on your own stability. You may nurture yourself, you know, and that's how they kind of see you. They see you as always looking forward to the next opportunity, Two of Wands, all right? You follow your impulses, but you're a person who likes to protect their heart. You know, you protect those you care about, and, you know, pretty much tooth and nail, you know, and as well with this badger spirit, the badger spirits, they're very rough. They're not afraid of anyone. What they say, honey badger don't care. You're not scared of anyone. And so you're one of those people, but you could come off a bit timid as well, because it's in reverse. So you might come off a bit timid, or you might come off as a bit argumentative or more forceful than you need to be, right? But people do feel you as very disciplined, because you have discipline here and you have Saturn, which is also about discipline. So they see you as a person who's very disciplined, very, you have a good routine, you have a good schedule, you're reliable, you know, but as well as very pretentious sometimes and very magnetic. So they would mention you as a person who's very bossy, you know, my way or the highway type of person, you know, but they're like, you're very charming. People like you around. And somehow, so maybe, okay, so there's conflicting messages here, because you could be generous, right? Because this Leo energy is generous. King of Wands and King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, they could be generous people, right? But the Empress in reverse is also a person who has resources but doesn't want to share with others. You know, sometimes it's also a person who doesn't want to take responsibility, you know, as a mother, you know, so that may be something that some people might say about you, but whatever. I doubt that, because you also have the Queen of Pentacles here. So you may just not be sharing your resources with other people openly. That might be just who you are. You know, you're a person who takes the time out for yourself. You know, you could be a star, or people could just see you as a star. You know, they would just describe you as someone who stands out, who's noticeable. And especially with this Leo energy and the showstopper, that would definitely make you a person who gets a lot of attention, a person who's always noticed. You could be a bit introverted, extroverted, because that's Leo energy, but you could be introverted as well. So like, while you're out, maybe out enjoying yourself, or when it comes to being creative, or when it comes to expressing yourself, you're extroverted. But when it comes to like sharing and allowing people into your personal space, you could be a bit like Capricornish, where you're like, I don't know, I don't really need you around. You could be that type of person. You know, Cancer's like that too. So maybe you have Cancer or Capricorn or Leo placements. You know, there's just the energy of you being a person who stands out and has great ideas. You just don't always tend to move on them, or it takes you a while to make those things come true, but they do always come true. So it's like, after you have hard times, you're a person who uses discipline and willpower and the energy of being magnetic to get yourself through that, to weather that storm. You know, you use your own natural alchemy, your own natural abilities, as well as you always get what it is that you really want. And that's how people would describe you, as a person who gets what they want by following their own impulses. They have a bunch of whimsical ideas and they're very great at them. You know, they just tend to be a bit pretentious. You know, they didn't always think them all the way through. You know, they've been having to sit on them for a while. They didn't make a move. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. But yet some people still see you as disciplined when it comes to getting through hard times, because this Saturn energy represents hard times, hard work, trials, you know, tribulations, like putting in the effort and succeeding. You know, so you would be one of those persons like that. You're a person with stiff, hard boundaries. That's how they would explain, or they would express you. Stiff boundaries, yet you're very outgoing. All right. A magician at best, you know, but sometimes a bit contentious and a bit I guess we can call you violent, you know what I mean? But you're a person who feels like you need to protect yourself, or at least protect your heart, protect your feelings. But you know how to get whatever it is that you want through being very charming, very outgoing, and sometimes a bit forceful. you know, and that's how they know you. You know, they see you as being stable, so they would definitely describe you as a person who's stable or who can at least take care of themselves independently. They do give that nurturing energy as well, but you just don't like to necessarily nurture other people. Maybe you don't like to nurture adults. That might be something, which is okay. It's understandable, you know. But they do see you as a person who's healing, or who takes time out to heal, you know. And through healing, you learn to forgive other people. Now, with this building blocks in reverse, this is usually about you, like I said, not wanting to share resources with other people and not wanting to build foundations with other people. So you prefer to be alone and independent. That's a big thing. That's how they would really describe you, as being alone and independent. Similar to pile one, but they were just different cards in a different way. And, you know, they were more secretive. Whereas you're a little bit more outgoing and people can see you and you don't mind people seeing you. You just have like a sense of like, nope, like a stone wall, like, I don't really fool with you like that. You cool, but I don't fool with you like that. You know, these are my resources and I share what I want to, but not sharing everything. So back. Something like that. Similar to that, okay? But they do definitely have you as a person who may be holding on to past hurts, and they think that you need forgiveness or that you need to forgive someone. You know, that's something that they say that here. Maybe that's why they feel like you're being a bit selfish. They feel like you're an empress, but you're just not, you know, giving to other people. You're not sharing with other people, you know, or maybe they feel like you're not comfortable alone. You know, that could be how people would possibly describe you. They just describe you as possibly as a player, a person who goes after whatever they want, who's very charming, very outgoing, but kind of flighty. You know, once the deed has been done, you're gone. So they might describe you as that type of person as well. It's a person who follows your impulses, you know, and decides to guard their heart. So that would kind of come off as a player, you know what I mean? You're not really sharing, you're not really nurturing and loving like that to other people. You just mostly nurture and love yourself. And you're always looking for the next opportunity or the next chance, as well as you know how to get what it is that you want, and you get a lot of attention. So they would think of you as a player, and you don't want to build anything stable with anybody. Yeah, they would describe you as a player. I'm not saying that that's who you are. I'm just saying that that's kind of how it would be described, okay? So do with that what you will. But pile 2, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house. Boom, pile 3. So, pile 3. How would people describe you? Okay. As a person who has trouble letting go of things, yet can see through the illusion of what other people are trying to put down. They might see you as, I want to say like fair and balanced, you know, having a lot of duality, right? Because I'm also seeing the High Priestess, and I'm seeing this Gemini here. I do see, so, okay, let's go with the signs first. So you could be a Gemini, could be a Pisces, could be a Libra, could be a Taurus, could be a Capricorn, could be a Virgo, could be a Sagittarius. All right, these are the signs I have. Doesn't have to be you, could just be you. But they say that you're a person who's very forgiving, very compassionate, a person who likes to fix or mend things. You maybe keep friends from childhood. They see you as a person who doesn't see themselves as better than anyone or anyone better than the other. They feel like you don't compete, like you're not competing or comparing yourselves to others. People would mention you as that type of person. They would mention you as a person as well who's very gender fluid. You know, if you're a woman, you know you have masculine traits. You know how to get things done as a masculine. And if you're a male, you understand femininity and you know how to get things done as a feminine. So they would see you as a, what's the word? Androgynous? I think that's the word. That's right. I think that's the word. But anyway, they would see you as that type of person, you know. But they do kind of come off as you being a bit overcritical sometimes. Even though you're very compassionate with other people, they see you as being very self-critical, all right? Kind of like a perfectionist. They see that you work very hard, and they see you as a confident person as well. They would describe you as a person who's very lucky, and also as a person who's very beneficial to know. Like you come with perks, you come with resources, but they also feel like you don't really share all your resources. You know, this is that Empress in reverse as well. They also see you as a person who's a bit unattainable or emotionally unavailable as well. You know, a person who doesn't really share secrets or who keeps secrets to themselves. You're something like that. You know, with this Queen of Swords energy here, I see you as a person who has healthy boundaries and who's very intellectually stimulated. A person who represses feelings to make clear judgments, clear decisions. You know, they do see you as a person who holds on to things that might have gotten them in the past. and sometimes you have an issue with letting them go, you know, and actually like rebirthing yourself into something new or into someone new. But they still see you as a person who transcends the illusion of life or illusion that other people are trying to project on you. You know, when people are trying to fool you, you're a person who knows how to get rid of the clutter, get rid of that mess. You know, if it's not serving you, because this Queen of Swords energy as well, and this Frog Spirit, this is about allowing yourself to experience new life and, you know, hopping away from situations that just aren't quite serving you in the way that you would like them to. It's about decluttering your life. And with that Queen of Swords energy, I would definitely see that as you getting rid of, you know, people or things who just aren't doing for you the way that you would like to. As well as this Devil energy in reverse. I feel like people do feel like you're a bit strategic, analytical, you know, because you have the Seven of Swords here as well. They feel like you sometimes can't be quite trusted, or you don't really like a lot of you don't like a lot of like arguing, a lot of fighting, you know, because Seven of Swords can also be like sneaking away from a battle, sneaking away from a situation before things get out of hand. So, and especially right next to this Devil in reverse, it's like you leave from situations that you feel can be toxic or could be dangerous to you or to your livelihood, you know, as well as but mending, because you got mending here as well. So maybe that's the energy that they're talking about, where you don't necessarily leave things that are bad for you. So maybe there's someone that they might describe you as someone who kind of like tries to fix situations that you really should be letting go of, or fix situations that you've already kind of analyzed and realized that they weren't for you, but yet you kind of stick around, you know, because of the compassionate energy of like, you know, understanding both sides of the fence and wanting to take care of people or help other people out, you know, and not wanting to just kind of leave people in a bad, you know, a bad state pretty much. You know, they would describe you as that type of person, yet as a person who is not all the way in touch with their emotions. So you're not really quite a person who expresses how you feel deeply. You know, you can be a bit overindulgent. So maybe you know, do drugs or you smoke or, you know, you do something like that. Maybe you have sex like that. Because, you know, the Devil here could be about sexual energy as well, you know, and overindulgence in it. You know, because people do see you as an overindulgent type of person, but they see you as very expansive as well. You know, so with this bridge energy here, they see you as a person who's worth keeping in touch with. Did I say that in the beginning? Because that's how people pretty much feel about you. They feel like it's lucky to meet you, like you're always in the flow of life, like you're very beneficial. You know, to meet you was like a synchronicity. You know, like they were meant to meet you. You know, and so they would describe you as a person who, like, just knowing them, just being friends with them, just being you know, being a lover with them is like good news, because they're going to help you out. They're going to put you in a position to win. So they would describe you as a person who you would always want to keep in contact with or always build a connection with. Now, people will also describe you as a person who always finds a middle ground or knows how to connect with other people. Like you always have that in-between ground. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like you get along with people very well. You're a people type of person. Even though you've held on to things that have happened in the past, you're a person who kind of likes to, you know, sweep things under the rug. Like, hey, it's okay, it's happened that way. You kind of keep things lighthearted. All right, but with this Virgo energy here in the middle, I still get it as you being a bit too critical on yourself. And sometimes you could flip-flop and be backwards and be critical of other people. You know what I mean? But you're very analytical. So you could be a Gemini and a Virgo, because that is them paying attention to finer details. Yet with this energy of being, I said it in the last reading, kind of whimsical, but this is like an energy of like seeing how things are and then seeing past where they are at the moment. You know, it's like I can see how this is what it is right now, but I can also see what's beyond this. You know what I mean? Like, this is just what it looks like right here. What this really is something bigger. And that's how you would pretty much, they would explain you as a person who can see like the illusion, see through like everyday hum and drum. You know, whereas people might look at, they might just look at I don't know, what's a good example? Let's say they might look at a shoebox as just a shoebox, whereas you might look at it as a, you know, some type of fancy box to create. You know, like you have like creative juices where you're seeing things more than just the 3D level. All right, and they would see you as that type of person. Even with the High Priestess in reverse, they would still feel like you're very intuitive. They would feel like you just don't speak about the things that you know, like you keep your mouth shut about knowing about the things that you know, about the deeper secrets. You know what I mean? Especially with this transcends illusion, this would be about that. You would understand the deeper secrets of life, and you just don't necessarily always speak them out. They just know that you have a deeper well of information and knowledge. They could also describe you as being a bit materialistic with this Devil energy here as well. They could see you as being maybe a bit materialistic, or overindulgent in sex, drugs, money, food, something of that sort. But they do see you as a very passionate person as well, emotionally wise. You have a lot of passion and a lot of drive when it comes to connecting and getting to know people, but they don't really see you as a person who allows other people to know them. Like you keep like this level of detachment from people around you. Now they could see you as a person who gets a lot of attention because we got the Six of Wands here. So you could be a person who gets a lot of attention, a lot of looks, a lot of, who's been through like a hard time, yet, you always succeed and you always prevail in the end. So you could be that type of person because you get a lot of luck and you have a lot of supportive people around you, because bridge also represents supportive people around you as well. So you usually have a lot of supportive people. You just could tend to be sometimes somewhat selfish or overindulgent, more so focused on yourself. And so that would be kind of how they would explain you as well, as just being a good friend, a solid friend, a person who takes care of people, but you just fluctuate, sometimes between, maybe over giving and then under giving. So maybe that's something that you might want to take a look at if that's you, but they definitely have you as a self-critical person, very critical of your own self. Okay? So, Pile 3, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Nudie, and it's Leo in the third house. Boom. Pile 4. So, Pile 4. How would people describe you? Ooh. Okay, that makes sense. 'Cause I was about to say that doesn't make any sense, but I can see why. Okay. Okay, so we may have some conflicting messages here. Hey. Oh no. Why would they say that? Who would describe you like that? Probably a hater. Okay. Okay, so people would describe you as a person who has healthy boundaries, yet you tend to hold on to situations that maybe, like if someone dupes you or someone gets over on you, you tend to hold on to that for a while, and then you create boundaries that seem to be a bit harsh on other people. Okay? Now they do see you as a person who has a community. They would describe you as a person who has a community, who has some type of organization, who has a company, a person who's it could be an artist. You have a big imagination. They also see you as a person who reflects back to others the actions that they do to you. So they see you as kind of like petty. You know what I mean? Whereas if you get me, I get you. And they see you as very manipulative emotionally. The signs you could be is Sagittarius. You could be a Pisces. You could be a Aquarius. And that's what I got. You don't have to be these signs, but you could be. All right? But they see you as a person who handles conflict kind of in a confusing way. All right? Where you build boundaries, yet you still tend to hold on to the things that have bothered you or hurt you. It's like that lingeringness that you haven't really learned from the lessons of the past. Even though you built boundaries that are healthy for you, you could come off as a bit pushy or judgmental, because of this judgment here, it does have you as a good source of character, a good judgment of character. You're a person who people respect and they acknowledge them. They also see you as a person who sometimes lives in like a fantasy world, or has a lot of illusions about how life really is, or about how, kind of like what fair is. You know what I mean? Because you had this Two of Cups in reverse, which would be them describing you as a person who is not compromising, a person who doesn't share or give fairly, or doesn't express their emotions equally with other people. Yet with this Three of Cups, because Three of Cups for me is a cup of trust. I consider it trust, like you're trusting. You know what I mean? Because in reverse it would be like trust issues, not trusting other people. But like the Three of Cups, they would see you as a celebratory type of person, a person who they could trust with their ideas, with their secrets, a person who could have good time with, as well as you being a good judge of character. You know what I mean? So people can feel like they trust you or trust your judgment. They would speak on you about that. You are a person, though, who sometimes gets into that foggy mood where you could come off a bit blunt or a bit cold, based on being hurt in the past. They still feel like you hold on to past resentments, and that causes you to be a bit blunt, or like a straight talker, a bit straight to the point, sometimes a bit rude with the way that you communicate, and a bit detached. They also feel like you're a person who sometimes puts your energy into the wrong place. They would describe you as that, maybe you hold on to the resentment and they feel like that's ill placed or ill, like, you're using it in the wrong energy. That might be something that they would explain as a person who's a little bit bitter, they're a little bit cold, and they're a person who sometimes puts their resources or puts their time and their energy in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? In terms of like friends, family, networking, maybe they feel like you build with the wrong type of people. But at the same time, these people also feel like you're very self-sufficient, very self-sustainable, like what to invest in. So this could be like separate groups, friends, family, separate groups, getting involved, speaking about you. Because here you have like a large organization. So they would speak about you having a large organization or a large friend group or a group or doing like group activities or being like socially aware. You know what I mean? Yet at the same time being self-sustainable and self-protective. You know what I mean? Like how to guard yourself, protect yourself, especially with these healthy boundaries. And with Cave here, this is about protecting yourself, knowing like being at home with yourself as well. You know what I mean? And not allowing others to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? So they do see you as slightly manipulative, and maybe that's because of your feelings. Like you're just not a person that budges with your feelings. You don't like to express them openly or fairly with other people. That's how they would describe you. Now, whether you do or you don't, that may or may not be true, but that's just how they see you, like emotionally manipulative. They feel like you set boundaries, but yet you still hold on to the things that bothered you. Now, they also see you as a person who can see through the facade, through that, because you have all that glitters is not gold, and being here and now. So this would be a person who's very patient, very present, and aware of the games or the jokes or the facades that people put on. So you're a person who could see through that. You're not a person who falls for the flim flam all the time. But if someone does get you with the flim flam, you hold on to that. That's what they do mention. They mention you being a mirror type of person. So you could be a person who kind of goes back and forth, or you have a lot of internal conflicts about whether to return the favor on people, rather return what it is that they did you. So if they did you wrong, you have this uncertainty of whether you want to give it back to them or replay like how they did you. But somehow people do still see you as a good time, as a fun time, and they still see you as a person who they can trust, and it can like not build with, but necessarily like, just enjoy themselves around. They just feel like they can't share their feelings with you because you may manipulate them or use them in your own best interest. They do see you as a person who does really well with investing in smart things, but they feel like sometimes you make the bad decisions in terms of friends or like social groups to be with. They feel like you just pick the wrong people a lot of times. They feel like maybe you don't really always see the truth of your friend groups or the truth of like the members or the people that you have around you. Like maybe you have this illusion or this fantasy about how society is or how society could be. So they feel like you kind of live in a fantasy world about the world, but they do feel like you're a person who's very dynamic, and they feel like you're a person who deserves a lot of acknowledgement and a lot of respect. They do see like they feel like you need to surrender some of those past hurts that you've held on. So they would describe you as a person who they feel like, still holds on to past resentments and a lot of shame and guilt, and they feel like you haven't quite let go of that. But they will also describe you as a person who's very patient, very resilient. So it's like conflicting energy here, because as well with this confrontation, because opposition shows up, this confrontation is usually about push-pull dynamics. It's also about having to make a decision, and it comes from dealing with complexity. So you may see a lot of issues where, you're normally one way, but, when situations provide or when situations present themselves, sometimes you're like on the fence about being another way, even though it's the way you need to be. Let's say that there's an opportunity where you need to be a little bit more aggressive than you normally would be. You may be on the fence about being that way because, it's not normally who you are. Even though this is what's required for the situation, it's just not normally who you are. But they say that you have a good judgment. So even if you didn't go in that direction that they thought you should go in, you still made a good judgment because you really know what's best. They trust in your judgment of character. So people do feel safe and feel like they can trust you with but they just maybe not feel you like they can trust you with their feelings. Like as far as a good time and as far as like what to do to like enjoy or stress relief, they would trust in you. But like in terms of like, expressing their feelings in a partnership and relationship, they think you would be more manipulative emotionally and that you wouldn't be sharing the same sentiments as them. Because you're very self-sufficient as well. It's like you have friends, but you're like, it's Aquarius energy. So it's like, I have friends, but I'm still my own type of person. So you're that type of person. They just feel like maybe you live in a fantasy world, or a fantasy about how the world could be. So there's that, But they just feel like that you're a person who's let go of like judgments or how like expectations of how the world could be. So that's why they feel like you live in a fantasy world, because you've let go of like judgments or preconceived ideas of how the world should be. You're kind of like just allowing the world to show itself to you and kind of enjoying the mystery of life. And that's how they would explain you, Pile 4. So that was your reading, Pile 4. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and that's Leo in the third house.